Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the top 50 headlines from across the world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. In our top stories, the Russian Foreign Ministry has summoned the US ambassador to Moscow. This is to mark Russia's protest against the alleged use of American-made missiles in Crimea. A Ukrainian attack on the Russia-annexed peninsula killed 4 people and wounded more than 150 over the weekend. The Kremlin has blamed the US for the attack and warned of retaliatory measures. A fire erupted in an 8-story building near Moscow on Monday. 2 individuals reportedly jumped to death from the building, while at least 6 others perished in the blaze. The building was a former Russian research institute. The cause of the fire is not known yet. The European Union has formally launched accession negotiations with Ukraine and Moldova. The landmark move is aimed at sending a vote of confidence to Ukraine, even as Russia continues to make gains on the battlefield. Ukraine and Moldova lodged their bids to join the EU after Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has replaced his country's joint forces chief. Zelensky dismissed Lieutenant General Yuri Sodol after alleged reports of his poor performance in the war against Russia. Brigadier General Andrei Natov is now Ukraine's new commander of joint forces. Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, has been released from prison. He was released from the British jail where he was being held after agreeing to plead guilty to a single charge of violating the US espionage law. Assange was accused of conspiring to obtain and reveal classified US national defense documents. But after pleading guilty, he was released based on time served. He is now on his way back to his home country, Australia. Kuwait has lifted a ban on entry and work visas for citizens of the Philippines. Kuwait has also allowed the recruitment of Filipino domestic workers with work experience. The decision follows a bilateral meet between the top leadership of both countries. Kuwait and the Philippines have agreed to establish a joint working committee to address employment-related issues. Kenyan police fired tear gas as young protesters continue to rally against the proposed tax hikes by the William Ruto government. The protesters have called for a nationwide shutdown today. There is heavy police deployment in the streets of Nairobi, with riot police blocking access to the parliament, where lawmakers are debating the controversial finance bill. A contingent of 400 Kenyan police officers has departed for Haiti, and this is the first contingent of Kenyan soldiers who will be heading to the Caribbean nation. Last July, Kenya had volunteered to lead an international force to tackle rising violence in Haiti. Presently, gangs have taken control of parts of Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. A massive fire broke out at a lithium factory in South Korea on Monday. The death toll has risen to 23. The deceased includes 17 Chinese nationals. The fire erupted after a series of explosions at the plant. The cause of the explosions is not yet known. In India, the ruling National Democratic Alliance has nominated Umbrella for the post of the Speaker of the Lower House, or the Lok Sabha, again. He was the Speaker in the previous Lok Sabha as well. The opposition, Indie Alliance bloc, has filed a nomination for the Congress Party's K. Suresh. The election for the post of Lok Sabha Speaker is scheduled for Wednesday. And India's southern state of Kerala has passed a resolution demanding the central government to officially change its name. The State Assembly unanimously passed a resolution demanding the state be renamed to Keralam. The resolution was proposed by the state's Chief Minister Vijayan. And Pakistan's Defence Minister Khawaja Asif says that minorities are facing targeted violence in the name of religion in his country. He added that the state had failed to protect the minorities. The remarks were made during a session of Pakistan's National Assembly. And NASA has delayed the return of 2 astronauts from the International Space Station. Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams were scheduled for a 9-day stay, but their return has been postponed twice in less than a month's time. The extended stay has been attributed to some technical issues in a Boeing spacecraft that carried the duo to the ISS. And in climate news, in central China, floods have resulted in 4 deaths. China's southern city of Changsha has been swamped with heavy downpours that left roads in the city blocked and subways submerged. Rains are expected to continue across most of the country in the coming days. And a railroad bridge collapsed due to flooding in the state of South Dakota in the U.S. Heavy rains in the American Midwest have forced hundreds of people to evacuate. South Dakota's governor said at least 1 person has also been killed due to the flooding. In Greece, the death toll among tourists due to extreme heat conditions has risen to 6. A 67-year-old German hiker has been found dead on the island of Crete. He had been missing and was found near a ravine in the south of the island. According to a study published in the journal Nature, Ecology and Evolution, the frequency of extreme wildfires has doubled worldwide over the past 2 decades. The study adds that these wildfires are responsible for major economic damage and the loss of animal and human life. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued a warning for heavy rains in 11 states. A red alert has been sounded in the state of Gujarat. The Met Department has also issued alerts to 5 other states over extreme heat conditions. And thousands of people have been displaced due to devastating floods in India's northeastern state of Assam. At least 37 people have died due to the heavy rains and landslides. Assam's Disaster Management Authority says that nearly 200,000 people have been affected. Scientists are using artificial intelligence to predict extreme weather in the Horn of Africa. The Horn of Africa is prone to heavy rains that cause floods and landslides. This new AI technology may help scientists issue alerts. On to business and tech news now. Apple has become the first company to be charged under the European Union's new Digital Markets Act. On Monday, EU's antitrust regulator opened a probe against the iPhone maker. Apple has been accused of restricting app developers from offering customers an alternative to its App Store. If proven, these charges could lead to large fines for the iPhone maker. And the share price of American chipmaker Nvidia declined nearly 7% yesterday. This is the 3rd consecutive session where Nvidia's shares have declined. This comes after the chipmaker's shares rallied earlier this month. Analysts say Nvidia investors may be looking to secure the profits they've earned so far. And the US is reportedly investigating Chinese mobile and China telecom firms. This is related to concerns over the use of American data by these firms. The Biden administration fears that Chinese mobile and telecom operators could share American users' data with Beijing. South Korea's second-largest conglomerate, SK Group, reportedly plans to hold a 2-day strategy meeting later this week. The firm is expected to discuss plans to simplify its businesses. Reports suggest the firm may be looking to sell some of its ventures and focus on key areas including artificial intelligence, chips and batteries. SK Group owns over 200 companies. However, it's best known for its chip manufacturing firm, SK Hynix. Meanwhile, a workers' union at South Korean automaker Hyundai Motors has voted to go on strike. This would be the first strike by Hyundai workers in the last 6 years. This comes after the firm failed to reach an agreement with the union over a wage hike. Hyundai workers are demanding monthly pay hike of over $114. American electric car maker Rivian is simplifying its manufacturing process to reduce costs and to make its business profitable. Now, Rivian says it has removed over 100 steps from its battery-making process. They have also reduced 52 pieces of equipment from its car body shop. Rivian's CEO says this has helped lower car manufacturing costs by 35%. A U.S. court has dismissed a class action lawsuit proposed against ride-hailing firm Uber. The lawsuit claimed that Uber's policies are racially discriminatory. It alleged that the company terminates black drivers at a higher rate compared to their white counterparts. However, the court said there was not enough evidence to support the allegation. Danish pharma giant Novo Nordisk has announced a $4.1 billion investment plan in the U.S. The investment will be used to expand its existing manufacturing plant in the country. The new facilities at the plant will be used to make Nordisk's weight loss drugs, Wegovy and Ozempic. Meanwhile, the European Union has imposed sanctions against 19 Chinese companies. The bloc accuses these firms of supporting Russia in its war in Ukraine. Chinese firms being sanctioned by the EU include 2 satellite manufacturers. Earlier, it was reported that these Chinese firms sold satellites to Russia's Wagner mercenary group. And the world's largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, dropped below the $60,000 mark yesterday. Bitcoin's price declined by 7.8% to touch $59,215. Lower investments in Bitcoin exchange-traded funds have been attributed to this decline. Bitcoin ETFs allow people to invest in the cryptocurrency without directly buying it. Earlier this year, the cryptocurrency reached a new high after Bitcoin ETFs were approved in the US. And moving to sports, and we start with cricket. Afghanistan scripted history by qualifying for the T20 World Cup semi-finals. They beat Bangladesh in the Super 8 stage of the tournament. The Afghans posted 115 for 5 in the first innings. Bangladesh were bowled out for over 105 in 17.5 overs. Rashid Khan and Naveen ul Haq took 4 wickets each for Afghanistan. India have qualified for the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup. They beat Australia by 24 runs in the Super 8 stage of the tournament. Indian skipper Rohit Sharma scored 92 from 41 balls to help India post 205 for 5. Australia's run chase was led by Travis Head, who knocked 76 runs from 43 balls. They eventually finished at 181 in their 20 overs. India's bowling attack was led by Arshdeep Singh, who took 3 wickets. And Pakistan skipper Babar Azam has filed a defamation notice against a journalist. This after the journalist implied Azam was involved in match fixing at the T20 World Cup. Azam was accused of receiving expensive gifts, and in exchange, he allegedly underperformed at the tournament. The defamation suit asks the journalist to apologize within 14 days. And India's cricket board, the BCCI, has named the squad for the upcoming Zimbabwe series. The two teams play a 5-match T20I series starting on the 6th of July. In football, the defending champions Italy are through to the last 16 of the UEFA Euros 2024. They held Croatia to a 1-1 draw in their group stage match. Croatia struck the opener through Luka Modric in the 55th minute. Italy were on the brink of elimination, but Mattia Sacchani had scored a stoppage-time goal to rescue the team. And Brazil earned a goalless draw in their Copa America match against Costa Rica. Brazil controlled possession for most of the match, but they struggled to make anything of it in front of a resolute Costa Rica defense. The Indian Football Board, the AIFF, has hit back at the now sacked coach Igor Stimac. Now, Stimac had criticized the Football Board's president, Kailan Chobe, in a press conference. He went on to say the president's departure would benefit Indian football and that the game is imprisoned in the country. The AIFF has strongly rejected Stimac's claims and accused him of maligning the board. In tennis, French veteran Gael Monfils won his opening round at the Mallorca Championships. He entered the match with a 6-match losing streak against his opponent, Austria's Dominic Thiem. But Monfils managed to overcome the string of bad results and defeated his opponent 6-3, 7-6. And India is going to spend over 33 crore rupees for its contingent traveling to Paris for the upcoming Olympics. The estimate covers travel, stay, equipment, and logistics. The amount is more than double of what India spent during the 2020 Tokyo Games. This year, at least 195 athletes are a part of the Indian Olympic contingent. And in badminton, Commonwealth Games medal winners Treza Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand will lead the Indian Challenge at the US Open. Now, most of the top Indian shuttlers have skipped the tournament to focus on the Olympics. The duo enter the tournament as second seeds. They are among the favorites to win the title. And on to some entertainment news now. Gigi Hadid gifted Taylor Swift a gold ring that features her famous Cat Benjamin button. The ring is encircled by a lustrous pearl border with flaming hearts on either side. It also features Swift's favorite number 13 on one side and Travis Kelce's jersey number 87 on the other. American rapper Eminem is all set to headline the 2024 Formula One US Grand Prix in Texas, and he is scheduled to perform on the second night of the concert on the 19th of October. The singer Sting will also perform at the event. An American rapper A$AP Rocky has made his debut at the international fashion stage, with Rihanna cheering him on from the front row. The much-anticipated show featured the rapper's AWGE collection at the Paris Fashion Week with a special runway. And singer Sabrina Carpenter's song Please, Please, Please rises to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 Songs chart. This comes a week after it debuted at number 2. The song marks the first leader on the list for the pop singer. World's biggest record companies have sued AI song generators Suno and Udio for copyright infringement. The music labels allege that the AI music startups are exploiting the recorded works of artists. The complainants include Sony Music Entertainment, Universal Music Group, and Warner Records. Actor and comedian Mindy Kaling has embraced motherhood once again. She announced the birth of her daughter on Instagram on her birthday yesterday, calling her third baby the best birthday present. And pop star Halsey walked the red carpet for the first time after revealing her lupus diagnosis earlier this month. The 29-year-old attended the Hollywood premiere of her new film Maxine in Los Angeles. The thriller marks the third film in the X franchise. And the cast of Supercell walked the black carpet for the show's premiere in London on Monday. The series is about 5 people from South London who discover they've got superpowers. Supercell is all set to premiere on Netflix on the 27th of June. And the 29th Shanghai TV Festival opened on Monday. The TV Festival features a series of events like Magnolia Awards, TV Market, and TV program screenings. This year's festival also unveiled the Shanghai Audiovisual Pavilion, aiming to build it as an international brand for broadcasting. The festival will run until the 28th of June. And King Charles's sister, Princess Anne, has been hospitalized with a minor head injury and concussion after being kicked by a horse at her estate. Now, Buckingham Palace said that she is recovering well and is in comfortable condition. And that's it on today's episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to First Post.
The Russian